This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I'm thrilled to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, I'm going to give a quick overview of the different types of guitars that exist and share some information that may be helpful to you as you decide what type of guitar is best for you as you learn to play. Now, this video does accompany the introductory section of my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 Method Book, as well as my Note Reading Books 1 and 2 Method Book and my Tablature Method Book. All three of those books have the same introductory section, and if you turn to page 1 in any of those books, this video supplements the information provided on that page. Okay, so I'm going to start with the guitar that I'm holding. You'll see this guitar with me a lot if you view a lot of the different lessons in the lesson series that are found on the channel. This is an archtop guitar. Guitars have different origins, and this guitar, the design for this guitar, grew out of the designs used for other stringed instruments like the cello or the double bass, the violin, the viola. All of those instruments have an arch top and an arch back, and they have what we call F-holes as the sound holes. And this guitar is modeled after that same type of design. So traditionally, this has maple sides and back and a spruce top, and that just sort of follows along with, say, how a cello might be made, and it's got these F-holes. It has an arch to the top and arch to the back that's carved, and so this is an arch top guitar. This one is traditionally used with jazz guitar. So you'll see a lot of archtop guitars with jazz guitar. As we've moved into electric guitars, some of those, especially like semi-hollow guitars, are modeled a little bit after these archtops. This one here is full-on acoustic. It also has a pickup though, so it can be played through an amplifier, so it can be amplified. So it's an acoustic electric in that way. But just see this guitar with me a lot. This is an archtop guitar. Most of us don't start on an archtop guitar, but if that's what you have, you're okay playing on an archtop guitar. You'll see me playing on it quite a bit. Okay, so the most common type of guitar on the acoustic side that we run into is just a regular old steel string acoustic. This has a flat top, a flat back, and then it's got our back and sides. This guitar, in its most traditional sense, has a spruce top and then rosewood back and sides or mahogany back and sides. That's sort of the proven woods to use with a steel string acoustic. This is a Martin guitar. The Martin company really helped solidify the steel string flat top guitar. They're the ones that really locked in that design. And this is a dreadnought shape. It's got a little cutaway, but it's a dreadnought shape. That's the traditional shape that the Martin company really set out. Now there's some other shapes, and you can find different shapes. Any of the shapes are really okay. What's important is that it feels comfortable to you and you like the sound of it. So it's okay if it's not a dreadnought shape. But with an acoustic guitar, the most proven sound is to have a Sitka spruce top and then either rosewood back and sides or mahogany back and sides. Now, a lot of companies have experimented with other woods, so you may get exotic woods. I have a guitar that's all mahogany. That's kind of fun. Sometimes you'll find cedar tops, so there are some other sounds that you can experiment with out there, but the most traditional proven sound is that Sitka spruce top, rosewood back and sides, or mahogany back and sides. So that's a steel string acoustic. Probably the best place to start as you're just getting started with playing the guitar. And with that, you're going to get a better sound if you get a solid top guitar. It's okay if the back and sides are laminate. So if you're looking at price differences and if you're willing to pay just a little bit more, you can get the solid top, and that makes a big difference in the actual sound of the instrument. It's really easy. The Fender company, the Yamaha company, and so on make little starter kits for around a couple $100 that you can play that have a solid top, and then they have laminate back and sides. And those work well. As you're playing in a guitar like this, what you want to do is make sure that you can press the strings down and that it's kind of comfortable to you, and that as you play it and hold it, it feels comfortable. There's different sizes. Some of them are a little bigger, some of them are a little smaller. What I recommend if you're buying a guitar for the first time, or you want to just get up to a nicer instrument, you're going to have a price boost there and get up to a nicer instrument. The best thing with an acoustic guitar like this is just to go into the store, and if you've played before, Play all the instruments that are in your price range. Play the ones that are just a little bit below how much you're willing to pay, and then play the ones that are actually priced just above what you might want to stretch for, and see which one feels the most comfortable under your fingers, under your arm, and sounds the best to you. That's really the best way to go about picking out a guitar. You can get started with a guitar that's around a couple $100. Then if you want to boost to a nicer one, you're going to want to jump up to around $1,000. And then of course you can keep going into several thousand to get better than that. But that's the big price boost. You can get started with one that's around a couple $100 on the acoustic side. There's some proven names that do that well, like Yamaha or like Fender, that have introductory guitars, Breedlove and so on, that have introductory guitars that work well. And then if you want to get into a nicer one, you're going to want to make that price jump up to around at least $1,000. So you're going to want to make that big jump, make sure you have that nice solid wood sound, and then it feels good under your fingers, and you pick the instrument that's best for you. I went in one time and was playing all of them, and I actually found one that was discounted and that was priced less than what I was willing to pay, that I liked better than the more expensive ones. So you just want to play them all, see which ones feel the best and sound the best to you. If you haven't played before and you're just getting started, then going with those starter kits by Yamaha and Fender can be a great way to go. Or find a used guitar that has a bigger name or is a higher quality type of instrument that's being sold as a used instrument. Take someone with you that plays guitar, let them play with it, and kind of give you their opinion on how it plays and sounds if you're brand new. So that's the steel string acoustic. Most of us start there. The nylon string acoustic is another type of acoustic instrument. This is actually more traditional and takes us back further than the steel string guitars, whether it be the archtop or the flat top. Those two steel string guitars, the archtop and the flat top that I showed us, came later than the nylon string. This is the classical guitar. So the guitar grew out of the lute and some of these other instruments and started as a nice little chamber instrument. We could pluck the strings, sort of paralleled to, I should say, it grew out of like the vihuela. It paralleled the time of the lute, which had an arched back, and this guitar has a nice flat top and flat back. With this one, it now has nylon strings. Traditionally, it would have had gut strings and been plucked with the fingers rather than, say, strummed with a pick. And this one's been sitting here. I didn't tune it, but I just plucked it and it's out of tune. So with this style of instrument, it's usually a little smaller and it's made to be finger plucked. And it's most traditionally got rosewood on the back and sides, and then either a spruce top or a cedar top, either style, and you can play it and just decide which one you like best. Now, with this instrument, you want to see, if you come across nylon string guitars, you want to see if you're wanting an actual classical guitar instrument, you want to make sure that the one you're looking at is. Companies have made sort of a hybrid between the steel string and the nylon string for classical guitar and put nylon strings on it. And with that, you're going to get, instead of this big wide neck that has lots of room for the finger plucking, it's going to be narrower. And so the strings are going to be closer together. So you're going to want to pay attention to that. And the shape may be slightly different. How we hold a classical guitar. These classical guitars, the guitars built for classical guitar music and fingerstyle playing, sit nicely in the traditional classical style with how we have it on our raised left leg and so on. So if you're wanting a nylon string guitar for classical guitar, you're going to want to make sure that it's not a hybrid. And then if you're choosing the guitars, the nylon strings are friendlier on the fingers, but it has a wider neck. So you might decide, if you're getting started, or if this is for a kid, they do make smaller size nylon string guitars that may sit easier on a child, and that they can finger a little bit easier with those nylon strings because they don't dig into the fingers as much. So there might be other reasons to get a nylon string, and even one that's a hybrid, besides wanting to play classical guitar, but just be aware there are hybrid versions out there. Nylon strings, shape's a little bit different These are especially for fingerstyle playing. Okay, so those are the acoustic instruments. So we come to the electric instruments, and playing electric works great for rock and playing in a band and so on. When we get to the electric instruments, there's sort of two varieties. One is a solid body electric, and one is a hollow body or semi-hollow body, which we'll look at in a minute. So solid body guitar is just a solid piece of wood. Sometimes, like in the case of this one, it actually has this piece of mahogany and then a piece of maple on top of it, quilted maple on top of it. Sometimes it's just one piece of solid wood that is all the same. So this one has a quilted top maple on top of that mahogany. But this is a solid body instrument, and it's going to have those pickups that can only be played through an amp, and these are super fun for playing any style that we want to plug in and play through an amp on. And if we're going to be in a rock band, country band, pop band, whatever the band is, a lot of times we're playing the electric guitar. Now, in modern times, there are microphones and pickups that can be put inside of an acoustic guitar, acoustic electric. Almost all of my acoustic guitars have those electronics in it and are technically acoustic electric guitars. That's sort of a thing that makes it possible for me to gig and play in bands. It's a lot easier than miking the guitar. So that is what that means when it is acoustic electric. But this is an electric guitar, can only be played through an amp. This is a solid body one, and then by comparison, you have a semi-hollow body. Interestingly enough, in the semi-hollow body, we usually have the F-holes sort of modeled after that archtop guitar. And with these, a lot of times you may even get a little bit of an arch on the top and back as well. But this is not acoustically able to compete all by itself. With these semi-hollow body guitars, what that means is part of the body inside is hollow. With this one, there's a block of wood that runs all the way through the middle, and it's a little bit hollow up here, and it's a little bit hollow down there. I have some other semi-hollow body guitars, or I've owned them over time, that only have a block that goes partway through, and it's hollow back here as well. You can also have completely hollow body electric guitars, guitars that don't have the same acoustic resonance as my archtop here, but that also sort of have the archtop design, and are completely hollow, but don't have the projection of a full-on acoustic guitar. They might be made of laminated wood or something, but they don't have the same projection of the acoustic guitar, but they're meant to be plugged in and have that that hollow body sound. What happens to my ear, and I think a lot of us hear this, between having a solid body guitar versus having the resonance that happens acoustically when you have a semi-hollow or full hollow body guitar, what happens is you get the acoustic resonance inside the guitar instead of just going through the body of the guitar, and it adds to me a little bit darker, thicker, fatter sound. So I like to have this as an option depending on the style of guitar that I'm playing. Now, it is completely okay to start on an electric guitar. There is no difference in how things are played as far as chords and notes and everything. Acoustic guitars and electric guitars are the same, so you can choose to go the electric route. The challenge tends to be, if you're just getting started, is that when you're going to buy an electric guitar, you have to buy an amplifier, and you got to buy the guitar. And you can find some cheap amplifiers and cheap guitars, but they don't seem to do as well as the cheaper acoustic guitars. You have to pay a lot more to get a decent sound out of the electric guitar. So you have to get a little bit nicer electric guitar. You can't just pay $100, a couple $100, and you need to get a little bit nicer amps. So it's a little bit more expensive way to jump in. But if you're getting started and needing to play with a band right away, like a jazz band at school, or with friends that you want to jam with, then the electric guitar, if you're going to be playing in a band, is going to be needed, or you're going to have that acoustic electric guitar. It just depends on if you're strumming those chords or wanting all the different things that happen on an electric guitar when we're playing in a band. So that's the different types of guitars. That's an overview of the different types of guitars that exist. Hope that's helpful to you. There's lots and lots of videos that go with this lesson series. Many more to come out. Over 1,100 videos on the channel. So lots of great ways to get help with playing the guitar. So I hope you'll have fun going through these different videos, jamming along with me and the band, jamming along with me and my guitar playing on the different videos that exist. So keep having fun, take care, and I'll see you in more of these videos.
Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.